Task number 3, filtering expressions. Although you can run Tcpdump without providing any filtering expressions, this won't be useful. Just like in a social gathering, you don't try to listen to everyone at the same time. You would rather give your attention to a specific person or conversation. Considering the number of packets seen by our network card, it is impossible to see everything at once. We need to be specific and capture what we are interested in inspecting. Filtering by host. Let's say you are only interested in IP packets exchanged with your network printer or a specific game server. You can easily limit the captured packets to this host using host IP or host and then the host name. In the terminal below, we captured all the packets exchanged with example.com and saved them to http.pcap. It is important to know that capturing packets require you to be logged in as root or to use sudo. So this is the command sudo tcpdump, and then the host, we provide the host because we only need to capture packets from example.com or to example.com. And then we save it to http pcap file. And we just started this process and we captured packets. If you want to limit the packets to choose from a particular source IP address or host name, you must use source host then IP or source host and host name. Similarly, you can limit packets to those sent in a specific destination using destination DST host IP or DST host host name. Filtering by port. If you want to capture all DNS traffic, you can limit the captured packets to chosen on port 53. Remember that DNS uses UDP and TCP port 53 by default. In the following example, we can see all the DNS queries read by our network card. The terminal below shows 2 DNS queries. The first query requests the IPv4 address used by example.org, while the second request is for IPv6 address associated with example.org. This is the command used sudo tcpdump interface ens5 port 53. And then don't resolve the host name. Right here we see that 12 packets captured, and then the last command, the last displayed of the command. Basically, it finished its work. In the above example, we capture all the packets sent to or from a specific port number. You can limit the packets to those from a particular source port number or to a particular destination port number using source SRC port number and DST port number respectively. Filter by protocol. The final type of filtering we will cover in filtering by protocol is filtering by protocol. You can limit your packet capture to a specific protocol. Examples include IP, IPv6, so IPv4, IPv6, UDP, and TCP, and ICMP. In the example below, we limit our packet capture to ICMP packets. We can see the ICMP echo request and reply, which is a possible indication that someone is running the ping command. There is also the ICMP time exceeded. This might be due to running the traceroute command, as explained in the network essentials room. This is the command. We've seen this already. Sudo tcpdump interface ens5, and then this give me ICMP packets and don't resolve IPs, hostname, and again our usual, let's say, outcome. Logical operators. 3 logical operators that can be handy and or not. Basically, almost like in code or in scripting, whatever, it's the same. And captures packets where both conditions are true. For example, tcpdump hostname 111 and TCP captures TCP traffic with host 111, or captures packets when either one of the condition is true. For instance, tcpdump UDP or ICMP captures UDP or ICMP traffic. So if you use ICMP or use UDP, this command will capture it. In the case above, host needs to be 111 and needs to use TCP traffic. Not captures packets when the condition is not true. For example, TCP is not tcpdump, not TCP. So basically capture everything that is not TCP. Captures all packets except TCP segments. We expect to find the UDP, ICMP, and R packets among the results. Summary and examples. The table below offers a summary of the command line options we covered. Tcpdump host IP or TCP host name. Filters packets by IP address or host name. Tcpdump source host IP or filters packets by a specific source host. Tcpdump destination host IP. Filters packets by a specific destination host. Tcpdump port number. Filters packets by port number. TCP source port number. Filters packets by the specific port number. TCP destination port number filters packets by the specific destination, the specified destination port number, and then Tcpdump protocol filter packets by protocol. Examples include IPv4, IPv6, and ICMP. Consider the following examples. While reading this command, I try to also explain it. So tcpdump -i, so give me all interfaces, TCP traffic, port 22. All TCP traffic that's coming on any network interface on port 22, give it. Listen on all interface and capture TCP packets to or from port 22. That is SSH traffic. TCP, we have a specific interface of UDP on port 123. Listen on Wi-Fi, WLO1. Network card and filters UDP traffic to port 123, the network time protocol NTP. TCP port interface of 0 hosts. We provide the host and TCP port, right? Also TCP and save it. While listen on Ethernet 0, while the wired internet interface and filter traffic exchange with example.com, then use TCP and port 443. In other words, this command is filtering HTTPS traffic related to example.com. For the question from this task, we will read captured packets from the traffic.pcap file. As mentioned earlier, we use R file to read from a packet capture file. To test this, try TCP. All right, count. All right. It should display the first 5 packets in the file without losing up the IP address. Exactly. Remember that you can count the lines by piping the output via the WC command. In the terminal below, we can see that we have 910 packets with the source IP address set to this IP. Please note that we add -n to avoid unnecessary delays in attempting to resolve IP addresses. In the example below, we didn't use sudo, as reading from a packet capture file does not require root privileges. So basically, they just say that we have a file already saved. Let's see. Exactly, this one, traffic pcap. And we don't need to use this sudo command because we are not live capturing traffic. We just read from this file. What do we have here? Tcpdump, read traffic pcap source, right? So basically, they just provided the IP and then don't resolve it. And then word count. This is the meaning of WC. And here you can see the result. Answer the questions below. How many packets in traffic.pcap use the ICMP protocol? So we go over here. Actually, tcpdump, read from traffic. We go a bit. All right, and then here we see ICMP. Let's see. Reading from file traffic pcap, right? 26. 26. What is the IP address of the host that asked for the MAC address of 124.173, and here we have it. 192.168.124 and 148 on port 61223. What hostname subdomain appears in the first DNS query? If you want to capture all DNS traffic, you can limit the capture packets to those on port 53. Remember that DNS uses UDP and TCP port 53 by default. So we go with this port 53 and just count to 1 because we need, excuse me, we just need the first DNS query. And then we need the host name. All right, let's see. Mirrors Rocky Linux org.